This is our last live forum with high school and college students. I am going to permanent retirement. And so we are recording this segment for a YouTube channel. I am grateful to all of you and to your principals, but to the professors from Southern and UNH and Southern who, after working all day, come here to do this for us. I am extremely grateful. And without your help, we couldn't have been doing this for 21 years. So now we are going to ask you to introduce yourselves. Just take 30 seconds, tell us who you are, and what does this mean to you, right? And then we're going to ask the professor some questions, and the college students some questions about how to succeed and to be well prepared for college and success in life. So we'll start with Suzy.
Sure. Hi all. My name is Suzy. I'm a sophomore studying political science at Yale University. I focus my studies on genocide and ethnic violence. And at school, one of my main things, I'm the director of a nonprofit called Hemispheres. It's an educational outreach program that designs and delivers lessons in international affairs to New Haven high school students. So I could have easily, when I was attending high school, been reached by a program like this. We have about 60 to 70 students. So I run that each week, and that's sort of why I'm engaged in OneWorld as well. What I'm really interested in is providing opportunities for students who would use them really well, and for students who might not get them otherwise through other traditional avenues. So for me, it's really all about educational access and spreading information.
And Suzy has been with us now for about 5 years. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Audrey. I'm from ESUMS in West Haven. It's a STEM-based school, which is science, technology, engineering, and math. I'm hoping to go to art school, actually, which is pretty funny compared to STEM. I think that OneWorld, I was given this opportunity because one of my best friends told me about it and was like, hey, do you want to go do this really cool thing with me? And like, you'll be on TV. And I'm like, oh, no. But it's easy to get over stage fright when you're really into something that's reaching out to others in your community and learning more about the people who are here.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Wilbur. I'm a senior at the Engineering Science University Language School. I have been in the OneWorld program since last year, and I've joined the program because I wanted to use my voice to help communicate with the kids in my community.
Thank you. Mark?
Hi, I'm Mark Palmieri, facilitator for the group, a New Haven resident, first generation college graduate, and back into education, and it has become both a career and a passion. And I'm involved with a number of other issues which keep me in tune with state and federal legislation, so try to keep very pertinent and factual on where kids' heads are these days.
And I want to say, Mark is a retired school principal from New Haven Public Schools. He's also the former director of staff development. He's an education consultant, and without he and his wife, Dee, the last 7 years for OneWorld would not have been possible. He put his dollars, his time, and his energy into OneWorld. And so I'm tremendously grateful. So Dr. Audrey Kerr is a professor at Southern, and she's someone who participates. In fact, she has the highest, the program that has been most viewed on our YouTube channel. One of our board members, Enola Aird, who couldn't be here, interviewed her about a book she wrote called The Paperback Principle. And we interviewed her for that book, and our students, some students also participate in a forum about the book, and it's the highest, it's the most requested video on our YouTube channel. Yes. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, so I know somebody else was to be here. So there's another professor you can ask questions of. Go ahead, Sandy.
Hello, I'm Sandy Bulmer. I'm the Dean for the School of Health and Human Services at Southern Connecticut State University. And what that means is we have nursing and social work and public health and communication disorders and exercise science and recreation all under one umbrella. And I get to work really closely with students and the faculty. And similar, first generation college student, my parents didn't get the opportunity to actually finish high school, either of them. So working at a public university like Southern has been a great gift, and I really cherish the opportunities that education gave me. So I'm happy to be here with you today.
And thank you for being here. So she's one of the people you'll be able to ask questions of here and when we go in the live program. I'm going to go behind you. Go ahead, Hazel. Tell us who you are.
Hi, my name is Hazel. I am junior from Wilbur High School, and this means so much for me because I am Latina, and I know in New Haven are many Latinos, and I am so grateful for being here.
And thank you for stepping up. Okay, so I'm going to go in and out.
Okay, so I'm Maria Isabel Carnashali. I'm a professor at the University of New Haven. I teach mechanical engineering, and I also teach in our what we call our foundational engineering program, which is our first 2 years. To me, reaching out to the community and then getting people to know a little bit about engineering and how awesome and impactful it could be has been really important. Myself too, a Latina, and I live here in New Haven as well.
Okay, and I'm so glad that we have a woman mechanical engineer because, you know, we're still, although it's 2017, we still have people say, you're a what? So I am really glad that you're here. So,
hi, my name is Marcin. I am a senior at the Sound School. I am also Latina, and so I think it's a great pleasure and opportunity to be able to advocate for people in my community who don't have the opportunity to talk here today.
good. Thanks for being here, Melissa.
My name is Dylan Romerton, and I'm also a senior at the Sound School. And this opportunity is very unique to me because I can speak to professors who, work at university. They can really ask some questions one-on-one, and it could better equip me for when I tackle college next year.
Okay.
My name is Janaya. I'm from New Haven Academy. I'm a senior. And this opportunity is very different for me because I actually am accompanying Alexis. So this is very new and very spontaneous of me, and I think it's a really good way to show how it's important to get involved and to take advantages of opportunities that do come our way. So yes, this.
Okay, so quickly we have to move it a little faster. We're running out of time. Go ahead.
I am Matthew Duncanson. I'm a senior at ESUMS, and I saw this as an opportunity to learn from other professors and former college students to learn from their experiences before I embark on that journey.
Okay, thank you.
I'm Cory, and I go to ESUMS. I'm a senior, and I think this is a great opportunity to talk about education to different types of professors from different types of colleges that prepared me for college.
Thank you very much for being here, Cory. Matt.
My name is Matthew Anjoan, and I'm a professor in the physics department and also chair of the department. I have been in education at the university on the high school level for a couple decades now, and so this is a nice opportunity for me to contribute to the local community and help people get the questions answered, whether it's about physics or just university life in general.
And I want to say about Matt, I only spoke to him a few weeks ago, and one of the most cooperative, willing, supportive person. If I told him if I had known about him 10 years ago, I would have put in a request to clone him so I could have my own puppy, because he has been wonderful, because it's not easy to get 22 people in a room. I won't bore you with the details, but it's challenging, and you have been enormously helpful. Thank you so much. Go ahead, Suzy.
Hi, my name is Alexis. I also go to New Haven Academy. I'm a senior, and I thought this opportunity would be good because I am very big on representing women of color. So growing up, I never had that type of experience to see women of color in high roles. So I wanted to be that person to give someone that.
Thank you. Go ahead.
I'm Julio. I graduated from Southern last spring, and I work as a microbiologist for Yale. And I'm here today to offer people my wisdom on my college experiences and just questions they have in general.
Yes, and your major is biology.
Yes.
Great. Go ahead, Apple.
Hi, I'm Apple. I will be finishing up my physics degree at Southern, hopefully this week. I currently work at Yale, the Yale Peabody Museum, and I help run the after-school program that we have for high school students who work in the museum. My dad actually never finished a 4th grade, so he was always really big on education when I was growing up. And when my family and I moved here, I had a really good mentor who's been with me for about 14 years now, so I think it's about time that I give back some of the things that she gave me and helped me along the way. So
And mentoring is critical. Okay, 2 people came in. Tell us who you are.
Hello, my name is Shaylee Ann Barrios, and I'm from the Sound School. I'm currently a junior. And I'm really grateful to be here because that way I can get involved and informed and prepare myself for college, and my family's really big on education, so that way I can inform others as well.
My name is Madison. I'm a senior at ESUMS, and I'm really thankful to be here because I get to learn more about college experience and from a professor's point of view, so the transition between high school and college.
Dr. Cory, do you have anything you want to add? Because we
I'm in the English department, and I teach primarily African American literature.
And she's a published author. She won't tell us. She's a published author. The Paperback Principle, a phenomenal book. If you want to learn, Suzy, I know you're interested in ethnic studies, and the Paperback Principle is a book that you really have to read. Okay, who has a burning question, or one of the professors, if you have a comment you want to make, because we have exactly 15 minutes to wrap up this segment. So go ahead, Matt. Do you have anything?
I guess time management seems to be an issue that
Yes.
has been raised in the past, and or the questions that I received. And I think with time management, starting early on projects is very helpful. Also, to get advice on time management, don't ever be afraid to approach the instructor for a class for hints, timelines, when there are deadlines for assignments and things like that. If you can help to organize your schedule on a weekly basis, even early, it helps, okay? Another comment on just time management, but just generally adjusting to school on this. When you get into a university, your first semester is always the most difficult. It was for me, and it is for the vast majority of the people that I've seen. It gets easier. Even though classes get harder, you adapt. So don't overextend yourself the first semester. You can go over if you want after the first semester. But first semester is always tough because you have to adapt. It's a new place.
One of the things many students have asked about is, if I'm going into a STEM book, why do I have to be a good writer, or do I have to be a good writer? And I remember in my business class, I used to teach Business 210, which was called Organizational Development, and I had a student who protested loudly when I corrected her grammar and the structure of her sentence. She said, "This is not an English class, why are you correcting my English?" So, Professor Cory, since you're a person who teaches English and literature and writing, why is it important that high school students learn to write well when they get to college?
Well, this is a lesson that I learned before I went to college from my father, who started his career as a parole officer, had majored in engineering, and then switched to criminal justice. And he said one of the things that surprised him all the time was how much difficulty parole officers had submitting their reports because they had difficulty writing. And police officers writing up their reports, and how much difficulty. So there is probably no field of endeavor you will go into, whether it's nursing or physics or criminal justice, where writing won't factor in some way or another. And the further you go, the more you may be asked to write in terms of maybe publishing in journals in your field. So writing just factors in everywhere. And we do give special attention to our students who are non-English majors.
Yes.
And I do anyway, ask them to think about what writing might look like in their field of study.
It's also important because the world is changing so much that if we're not able to communicate with others,
yes,
we won't be able to get our ideas across, we won't be able to make an impact. So it becomes crucial for everybody, including engineers. And that's one of the advices I give students, that don't think engineering is just math. Engineering is much more than that, and including the communication aspect.
Sandy, as the dean of students, for the health sciences, today there's so much more demand for skilled healthcare people, and not just skilled in terms of tactical skills, but skills in terms of comprehension and understanding and articulation. What are some of the things that you consider, or your professors consider at Southern, in accepting, in reviewing applications and accepting students?
And that's an excellent question. There are so many pathways for you if you're interested in the health professions. And I think that many students first come to us and they have a very narrow view of the possibilities. Immediately they think of nurse, doctor. And there are just so many ways for you to contribute and work in that field. So what I would say is for you to really do some hard work to get to know yourself and where your skills are and where your affinity is for spending time with different settings, dealing with different challenges, because the traditional nurse doctor might not be the perfect pathway. Being a dean of health and human services, we also have social work, and we have exercise science, recreation therapy, and communication disorders, and all of these are incredible ways to work closely with people, helping them with health issues, and maybe they would align nicely with some of your skills. So you have to be, these are quantitative disciplines. If you're going to be doing nursing, people have to be good at math. You've got to do chemistry and biology and physics, and all of those are really, really, really important. And you need to be able to write and communicate and deal with challenging situations. So really doing some work on yourself and looking at all kinds of possibilities, I think is important.
Matt's comments about what the first semester looks like in time management. I'd just like to ask the group generally, how many are intending to commute to school? Or
Commute to college.
Commute to college. Okay, how many are intending to try to live on campus? Okay.
Most people.
Okay, I say that only because in either case, there are issues on how you control your time. And as you said, first semester is usually a very rude awakening. And part of what happens, aside from even thinking about your academics, we start looking at what kind of social interactions, what are the economic interactions. There are an awful lot of variables, and one of the things I think, as Matt alluded to, you really need to stay focused, especially that first semester, on what it is you have to do. And one suggestion I've always made over the years is that make sure you attend every class.
Yes.
People will say you can skip, and the professor might say you can skip, but I'm going to tell you a secret. Showing up to every class, even if you sleep a little bit when you go in, is appreciated and noticed. And noticed. And I say that if there are just those couple of routines in that first semester that are absolutely critical to getting yourself acclimated, because I can remember my freshman.
To the college environment.
We started with 1,500 freshmen my freshman year at Rutgers. We graduated 600 kids. Okay? Okay. And the thing of it was, everybody said, oh, this too shall pass. And to your point on English was the flunk out freshman year in college, was where most people had to.
So just to mention what Professor Anjan was talking about, I would say the biggest transition between high school and college is really the social aspect of it. It's the first time that you're out by yourself, you're living on campus, you don't have parents, you don't have like a strict schedule of where you're supposed to be and where you're supposed to do your homework. So really it's the first time that you have independence, and I think it's a double-edged sword. It's both good because it makes you feel like an adult, and you should start feeling that way. But I think that the problem that a lot of people run into is they think that they can use the same work ethic that they used in high school and expect to be successful their freshman year. And that's, I'm sorry, but it's just not enough. And that's why, like, after the first semester, you learn how much more work you have to put into it in order to be a B student or to be the A student you're used to being. Because an A student in high school is not good enough to be an A student in college. And when you start thinking about like, oh, it's okay if I go out Friday night or Saturday night and, go to a college party because it's the first semester. It's really those little things that add up at the end of the semester and you realize you're walking out of class with a D's. And so I would say the first thing is like, always make sure that you put your academics first. Because you want to start off good so that when you get to your junior and senior year, if you have a bad semester, you at least have a buffer. Think of it as like, if you do good on your first 3 exams, it's okay if you get a slightly lower grade at the end, but you don't want to start out with a lower grade because then you'll be spending the rest of your college life like making that up.
Pretty much what Apple said, but also for me, my biggest surprise from being a high school senior to somewhere in my undergrad years, there was a point that I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life. Like, what exactly did I want to go study? But deep down, I knew that science had to be involved in there somehow because it's just what I always had an interest in. But I didn't really exactly know how to approach that. So, what I recommend for those that aren't really sure what to do is just to talk to people, not just professors, but there's also these clubs, organizations there. Talk to the students and just, really try to figure out what it is that interests you. And if you find something, then absolutely go for it and pursue it and make the best of it.
Yeah, sort of along that same line of like focusing on yourself, the biggest shock I had coming into college, my first semester was just last fall, I was sort of socially shocked in such a way that I'm coming from West Haven, I'm a low-income student. This was the first time I'd really been around people who were drastically different from me. I mean, when you go to a public high school like I did, at your public high school or from your city, generally there's some sort of socioeconomic trend, everyone's sort of in the same boat. When I got to college, it was very drastically different, and I began to become very insecure being a low-income student, like, oh my god, I'm at this meeting with a professor, does he know that I thrifted this coat I'm wearing? Like, I was so nervous. I was like, am I a fraud? Do I belong here? And am I up to par with my peers? So I think the biggest piece of advice I have in that transition is to refrain from comparing yourself to other people because that's entirely pointless to do. And in comparing myself to these other people who were just plain and simple born into different family situations in different cities than I was, I just really got nowhere and I just made myself feel bad. So it wasn't until my second semester that I really just started focusing on myself, what I was personally doing at the school, what I'm here to finish, what I'm here to get done, that I really started to feel comfortable and develop socially and academically, and the rest sort of followed suit. So definitely just keep in mind that when you're confronted with people who are different from you, for better or worse, just to keep your eye on the prize, and the prize is you and what you're doing at that school. Because you're the one paying for it, so focus on yourself.
Yeah, and I think the fact that Suzy is at Yale, so many of our students from the local community are intimidated by, Yale. And they think, oh, it's only rich kids. As Susanne has said, when he thought, oh my God, what am I doing here, all these rich kids? And then when he talked to them and start interacting, he realized they're just regular people. So don't project that because that will hinder you. And in terms of language, if you're not an English speaker as your first language, you will learn. You will learn, and you only learn by speaking to people more. Don't be intimidated by that, and just commit to whatever it is that you want to do. And you can find that out when you take your different classes. You will learn, things. Something will trigger and make you feel passionate, and you want to learn more about that thing. And you will end up finding your pathway. But as Dr. Carr said, it's important that you know how to read, write, and comprehend, that you can write well, that you take pride in how you present your ideas in your papers, because that is going to help you. Right, professors?
Yeah, and that goes with your applications right off the boat, right? Make sure that somebody else is reading them and giving you some feedback. Don't miss that early on opportunity.
I feel like the difference between high school exams and college exams is high school you have a concept and that's it. Like that you have this problem, you do it, you figure out how to do it, and there's like a set standard in which you can approach the next problem, and it's like very similar variations. Whereas for a college, it's applying many different concepts together. So I think the more connections you can make, the better you're prepared for that.
I want to say one of the key things is that you don't let things slide. Don't try to make up everything the last week of school. You have to do it from day one. You have to pay attention. You have to do your assignments. You have to do your research so that you're accumulating knowledge and skills and information as you go, not just the last day and not just the last semester of school. Here, I hope you found this helpful. We're going to put, this program will be on our YouTube channel. It is going to air on Comcast Channel 26 and on Frontier Channel 99. We're at OneWorld. We will be able to get you a copy of the DVD afterwards. It is, we want to say thanks to Southern and UNH and to all these students who are here to help us. I want to thank all the volunteers who have worked with OneWorld and Citizens Television and North Haven TV who have helped us to produce these programs over the last 21 years. I hope that you found this experience beneficial, and I wish you the very best when you go off to college. And try and remember everything that you have learned here this evening. And I thank you, Matt and Maria and Alyssa, Audrey, and Sandra. Mark, thanks so much, and good night, everyone.